Good morning, children. Today we will study about the major physical features of Australia. Australia's topography is distinguished by lack of high mountain ranges. Much of land is flat, which allow high rate of evaporation, mainly in arid region. Arid region means the area which has the severe lack of water. So most of the rivers, that is 50% of the rivers, are inland, means they don't reach to the sea. They don't drain into the sea. 30% rivers drain into the sea. Large or flat land lie to the east of the Great Dividing Range. This mountain range is known as Great Dividing Range, and the flatland lies to the east of this. So the landmass has been divided into three main land areas: the Eastern Highlands, Central Lowlands, and the Western Plateau region. So major physical features of Australia are Eastern Highlands, Central Lowlands, Western Plateau, deserts, coastal plains, Great Barrier Reef. Eastern Highlands, they run like a backbone down the eastern and the southeastern side of the continent, then into the Tasmania. They are characterized by steep cliff. As you can see here in this image, the vertical slope, straight slope, is known as a steep cliff on the eastern side, which are sometimes flat and sometimes hilly coastal strips that are rarely more than 96 kilometers wide. The highlands are called Blue Mountains and New England Range in New South Wales here. In Victoria, they are known as Australian Alps. These are also known as Great Dividing Range as they form the watershed of the Australia. Watershed means a physical feature which divides the two river systems. So this mountain region separates the river flowing east from the rivers flowing to the west. Rivers on the east side flow from the highland towards the Pacific Ocean, whereas the rivers on the west side flow towards the central lowland and disappears somewhere here in the land, maybe in the Lake Eyre. So that's why this area, these rivers are inland rivers. Blue Mountains in New South Wales are bounded by Nepean and Hawkesbury River in the east, Cox River and the Lake Burragong in the west and south, and the Wolgan and the Kola River in the north. Geologically, they are situated in the central part of Sydney Basin. The range forms the watershed between Cox River to the south, means it separates the Cox River and the Groves and Wolgan River to the north. Australian Alps. Unlike the European Alps, the Australian Alps are not towering, sharply defined peaks with ice-scored ridge, but are extensive undulating plateaus and ridge. They are surrounded by steep slopes, escarpment. Cliffs are also known as escarpments, and the gorges. U-shaped valleys are known as gorge. The name Alps is applied not because of the special structural feature, but for the general characteristics of massiveness. And being snow-clad means covered with snow for 5 to 6 months. And these mountains are the highest on the continent. Mount Kosciuszko is the highest at and the height is about 2,228 meters. Coastal plains. In the Eastern Highland, the coastal plain is a strip of land running along the eastern coast. It varies from lush tropical areas to drier sandy plains because of warm, moist climate and rich farmland. This is very most liked by Australian people. So most of the Australians live in the coastal plains. Now children, question I have for you. Which physical feature form the main watershed of Australia? Name the highest peak of Australia. Where are the coastal plains of Australia located? Name the physical feature where most Australians live. Which physical feature forms the watershed between the River Cox to the south and the River Gross and River Wolgan in the north?